Yeah, we're live.
Nice. I want to welcome the subscribers. No Tag Awards in the house. About to get educated. Third grade education. Shut my door. We said we were talking about how we got started. You had called me one day. You were like, Ted, I'm messing around with this music, sampling, doing this or that, but do you got any lyrics? And I was like, yeah. So I sent you just some random punk rock lyrics. It was a punk rock song, Ice Cold Beer. And then I guess a little while later, I heard back from you that day, and you had put together the lyrics with the sampled music, whatever, and it just snowballed into what we 4 or 5 months now, and we're talking, hey, let's make a station, let's try this, let's try that, let's see where we go, let's try to think outside the box, inside, and so here we are now,
So what'd you think about the first song that I sent?
Blown away. I was blown away. And not to toot my own horn, but people out there don't know me. I've played music for 40 years in different bands, drumming, and a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, a lot of sitting down on the sides, out of practice, writing with my guitarist or my singer, whoever I'm in the band with. And when you sent that back to me, it took 40 years of work and jarred it up in a bottle in a couple of hours, and it was just amazing that you could do that. And not to mention, what I love about working with you is, you've got a good sense of humor. You think outside the box from where I think out, because I'll write music and I'm thinking I want it this direction, and then you'll surprise me, and then you'll send something that I'm not even expecting, and I'll be like, well, wait a minute, that's all right, and I like the fact that we collaborate.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
What made you even think about that name, Toe Tag Awards?
Because I wanted to come up with a record label. I guess that was the main thing. I kept always I would throw names of bands out there all the time. I'll jot names down for bands, and I'll just make these lists, and I'll just put them away. It's just like my lyrics. I'll write lyrics, and just kind of stack them up. But I was just goofing off one day, and I was talking about a record label called Dumpster Juice, for punk rock, and
Nice.
a friend of mine, she had said to me, she said, well, toe tag something. And I was like, yeah, toe tag. And then I said, what about Toe Tag Awards? And I threw that your way after you had sent me the song,
Yeah, like the name's unique, sticks out.
And, like we said, everyone's going to get one eventually.
That's right.
You're going to get one eventually, so wear it with pride. Hopefully you don't get one too soon, because you've been, some people get to act up.
When you're thinking about writing like a new song, what's your process on how you get it started? Like, you got like a certain
Good question.
yeah, whatever.
So a lot of times it's just even like my sense of humor. It comes from things that are happening to me on a daily. And I might hear someone say something like a catchphrase, and what I'll do is I'm always working with catchphrases first, most of the time. And then, like one song that we had just wrote, the last one we just wrote, Let the Record Spin, I was having bad dreams that night, and it was about an ex, and I haven't talked or seen her in years. As a matter of fact, I haven't even been dating in a while, just because I'm enjoying the peace and quiet, and I don't mean that offensively. Sorry if I'm offending anyone out there, but I woke up after having bad dreams about fighting and arguing, and I wrote that, and I called you that morning, and I said, Corey, check the song out. I need more lyrics. Tell me what you got. And when I sent it to you, immediately, that collaboration thing with two artists that, they're on the same page spiritually, you threw back fire back to me, and you were like, I got this. And the stuff that you threw back to me to go with the catchphrases and all, I was just like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah. It was kind of like building a song when you're trying to get your guitar, you find a sweet riff and you just like build from it. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I've done with my drum beats too, because over the winter I've recorded like I think 32 drum beats plus the 8 drum beats that I sent you that we've only worked on one of them, which one of the songs getting ready to come out. But yeah, I write off those drum beats sometimes too. The guitar, I'll start with the drum beat. And sometimes I can write off the lyrics. I'll hear the lyrics and I can come up with a beat just off the way, you know, you're singing the song.
Yeah. You're just in sync. Yeah.
Yeah. And what made you that day, that first day, number one, think about me because you're in Florida and I'm in Virginia Beach. What made you think to say, hey, well, let me call up Yung Saltine?
Yeah, I just randomly came across that platform and then like I was just making some stupid songs, just fucking around with it for a little bit, and I was like thinking like, man, who could I tell about this? This is awesome. I'm gonna like let someone know about it. And none of my friends really play music, and you're the first person I thought of because nobody else I was thinking about, so I dialed you up, and there he goes.
And bro, it's like I told you, you know, the people out there, they don't know me, they don't know you. All the hard work I've done with different musicians and opening for the bands I have, the sponsors I've had, all those different things, that takes a lot of collaboration. It takes a lot of communication and coming together. For the first time, I feel like I'm free writing with you. And I can rely on you. You know, you're not an alkie, a druggie. You know, I don't have to worry about you being strung out when we talk. And not to mention your sense of humor. You got a great sense of humor. That helps with writing the music too, because sometimes we'll do some corny stuff on the side trying to be funny. You know, just like I do have to shout out to like Ludacris and Riff Raff. You know, those guys are always trying to write funny, fun things, and that's what you and I were talking about. We're not gangster. What can we do to write funny, fun things that people, you know, on their everyday lives?
Yeah. I guess that's a good thing about not being locked in or biased about one certain genre or whatever. You gotta be willing to be open about everything. You know, just good music. It's good music. That's it.
That's right. And, you know, I've always been upset with my punk rock friends. God love them. They were the best thing that ever came into my life as a kid. And getting into the music business, it was the greatest experience I ever had. But the problem that why we were punk rock was because the kids or the people behind us were so tunnel vision. And this is the way music's got to be. This is the way it's got to sound. And if you're not doing it this way, then you're not going to fit in. And no. Punk rock came in and said, you know what? We're tired of hearing these same songs on the radio every day, man. Find something new. And this is why I got upset with my punk rock friends, because as time ticked, they kind of stayed. Yeah, because then next was metal. And then next, you know, we had goth started coming in, which I never really listen to. I like the way the girls and stuff look in there. That's why I like punk rock too, because you could express yourself and everyone accepted you. However you came into the picture, if you were a good guy, a good girl, you were accepted, man. You know, good person.
Yeah, for sure.
Same thing with skateboarding. Skateboarding community, same way. Not so much the surfing community. The surfers, they weren't as friendly. We're all together now. It's one big mesh now, you know. Everybody's hanging out.
Yeah. Are you still keep in contact with them?
You know what? I have to say this to the punk rock crew, the Windsor Woods boys. They do still contact me. There's a couple of them. It's not all like it used to be. Of course, I'm older now. But they do still check on me. They weren't happy with me when I started getting into speed metal. And they kind of held it against me for a while. But then once they saw me that I was taking off, I was getting sponsorship, I was playing good shows, then they started having a little more respect for me. And then they were like, you know what, that's our boy. If that's what he likes, then, you know, we still have the same love for him. They must have just saw the size of my house. So Corey, as we've gone along, how have you felt about the Toe Tag Awards and what we're doing? How are you feeling about this?
I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, I've showed quite a few people. But you know how it is showing like your close friends. Sometimes they're just, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love the music. I listen to it just about every day, honestly.
I know, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of people I talk to, they don't really listen to the lyrics, like our dance songs.
Yeah.
In there, and you look at some of the lyrics that we're writing. You know, we're writing funny stuff and sexual stuff too. But it's really weird because I'll ask people, "Hey, did you listen to the lyrics on that last one?" The dance stuff, especially. They're like, no, not really. But I just like, I just listen to the whole thing. So I don't know where I was going to go with that, but
Yeah, I've noticed some people don't really pay attention to, like, they hear the tone of it and that's what they're locked in on. They can't really focus in on lyrics or, like, you know how if you play, since you're a drummer, you can listen to a song and just, like, single out the drumming and focus strictly on that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And it's your friends, too. God bless them all. We love the family. Love all y'all. Friends, family. We love you guys.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that are the hardest on you because
Yeah, definitely.
they want to see you succeed in other things. And music is not, I mean, you got a 1% chance probably of getting that hit, and I don't write for that. And I don't think you do either. We're writing from what's right here. And the family, though, and the friends are the worst critics on you because I've had best friends, family, all of them are looking at me over the years, especially because I really started getting going. Even as I got older, I started going even higher.
Some smoke.
Yeah. My friends were going, what are you doing, man? You're too old for this. You need to stop. You're never going to make it. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that. But those are the same people when the big shows come to town and you're a part of it. They're the ones calling you on the phone. Hey, bro, I know you're going to get backstage. I know I'm coming. I know they're the same people. So you just got to kind of take it with a whim and let them catch on, when they catch.
For sure. For sure. But what's the biggest band that you got to... Have you ever got to collab with any bands before? Like fill in for anybody or?
At the time, social media, this is where I just missed the threshold at the door. The cameras, I don't have footage of me backstage playing like they do now with the GoPros and all that. Really missed that era. At the same time, social media has exploded over the last 15, 20 years. So back when I was doing it big, I mean, I have opened up for Slipknot 2004, 2008, Slayer 2004, 2008, Mastodon, just lots of bands, Arch Enemy. I mean, I'd have to go and sit down and see, but I never was able to hit them up on the computer and go, hey, bro, what's up? And I was always scared, Corey, because I meet all these guys. Like, the guys at Slipknot were the nicest guys, man. They were just beautiful people. Not. And now we watch their kids. They're Vended. Vended is the band. And I've actually gone and seen them a couple times. My daughter was staying in contact with them when they were kids because she asked me, did they have children? And I said, I don't know. So she's a Facebooker and all that. But to answer your question, because I'm getting too far off, but my daughter followed their kids. Now we go see them play. They're actually coming to Virginia Beach with Mudvayne here, which I opened up for also. Soulfly, different bands, Superjoint Ritual. I think that some of the guys in Corrosion was in that band with Phil from Pantera. But I just missed it with the social media, and so no, I never asked those guys for their phone numbers.
Yeah.
And I should have. I should have been like, hey, Because you know what? There's drummers leaving bands all the time. And if you're not putting yourself out there with confidence, which,
how are they gonna know?
hey, Corey from Slipknot, we met several times. We played together. Hey, bro, can I get your number? Or Clown, whoever. Can I get your number? Back then, it was right at the very beginning of the old school.
MySpace, huh?
Yeah. Yes. And so, I'm just an old man with stories. That's all I say. Old man with stories.
What's the the biggest show you did was for Slipknot, I guess, or?
Yeah, we played with. I'll tell you who I love too was. We got to open up for Head PE. I think they're from up in Baltimore or whatever. And I went up to the singer Jared, and we didn't get to see each other but a couple times playing together. I played with him at the Boathouse stuff, but I went up to Jared. I had a brand new Jägermeister shirt on because we were sponsored by them, and I went up to him and said, "Hey Jared, will you sign my shirt?" And he was like, "Bro," he's like, "you should be signing my shirt." And that was like the most beautiful compliment that I got. But that band, bro, they got the audience jumping. I mean, the vibe was heavy. We opened up for Breaking Benjamin too. I think they were on that tour. So, and some band called Saliva, which is still around, but none of the original members are there.
Oh, really?
And I wasn't. God bless them. They worked hard. I wasn't a big Saliva fan, but I still had the opportunity to be on stage. With them.
What didn't you like about Saliva?
Oh, bro, that's going to be another segment there. It wasn't anything they had done to me, but I was watching them. I'm not even going to say who it was in the band, but there was two of the guys in there. They were having bets about sleeping with other guys' girlfriends at the show.
Damn.
Yeah. I know. And here's the worst thing. This is the worst thing about it. I watched the women do it and go out after, grab their boyfriend's hand and give him a kiss on the lips.
Nothing just happened.
Like nothing happened, and I'm like, good God, man, good God.
Sick.
Yeah, it was sick. And that's how we got HIV. And I'm going to do a podcast over here. Y'all keep it down. They're hungry. They want some barbecue.
Alright.
So, Corey, I gotta give you. I gotta
take a picture real fast, man.
Hey, all right.
Pause it.